Hey, it's MK, and today I am joining the Paper Snob for a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and she's got a little challenge for us today, which is hand stitching our favorite color, some buttons, the, it's a big thing, counterfeit kit, mood board, and then of course some flowers or leaves or both. And so I've got a couple graduation photos that I have not scrapbooked yet, which is of my daughter going to one of her longtime friends since preschool's graduation. Now he used to live here, moved to Utah, and now they talk all the time and text all the time, and they still keep, in touch. And I think that is great. So from Spectrum Gardenia, I went ahead and pulled out a ton of purple and black elements, and I plan on using the leftovers from this little kit that I made for this double page layout. I'm going to do it for my daughter's graduation as well, because she actually had purple cap and gown because of her school colors. So we brought the cap and gown to his graduation, not knowing that his was purple as well. So we were super excited, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to go get mine on." So after he graduated, she went and put hers on too. So anyways, because their females actually wore white, and at my daughter's school, the men wear black and the females wear purple. So just a little thing. I'm also sharing with you guys all the papers that I have. I've got some chipboard from Dusty Attic. I have some papers from Pretty Little Studio, the Grateful Heart collection, and then all of these purple papers came from the Spectrum Gardenia collection by 49 and Market. Now, I don't know if any of these papers are still available, but I am sharing with you guys, and of course I'm going to be doing all the purples. And then for this one, I'm going to be using the black stripes. This one is actually called the color wheel, which if you stare at the stripes long enough, they look like they start moving. Yep, I need to not scrapbook so late at night. I'm also going to be doing a double page layout. So I've got 2 white pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and get going on matting my photos. Now, at first I thought I was going to mat them all in purple, and then I remembered that I pulled out all of those frames from the 49 and Market Gardenia collection. So before I start chopping up my photos, I needed to see which frames I wanted to use and whatnot. I also pulled out a bunch of frames that I fussy cut from another Pretty Little Studio collection. I don't end up bringing those at all. So I have a picture of the entire auditorium, minus the side that we are sitting on, of course. And to be honest, this was a huge graduation. And right at the very beginning, they do say that because of so many children going through and getting graduated, they do say that you can rise quietly and step out of the auditorium once your child has been called, like family members and whatnot, that have a party to attend to and whatnot. The kids aren't leaving, so all the kids go back to their seats, but the family members of the students can definitely go and head out and whatnot and start leaving. And they say that not to discourage everybody to stay for everybody, but also to prevent a traffic jam when everybody's trying to leave all at once, because that was a ton of people, you guys. I have never been to a graduation so big before. All right, so I went ahead and I picked a bunch of different photos to have the frames in hopes that I can mix and match having a purple photo mat and then of course a black and white photo mat. So that's where I was going with this. But I went ahead and I used all of my frames that I had available without even really having an idea in mind of where this is going to go. And I'm being really technical here, you guys. I'm not measuring anything. I'm gluing the frame to my photo and then just fussy cutting out around the frame, not even pretending like I'm going to measure any of this stuff. This one here where he is walking up to go and get his diploma. Well, it's not really the real diploma, but you get what I mean. Some people hand out real diplomas and some people hand out the piece of paper that makes it look like the diploma, and then they get the real one in the mail later because of such, I'm assuming how large. We actually hand out at our high school, that where my daughter graduated, she actually got her diploma in her hand right as she was, shaking hands with, the president. No, the principal. Oh my goodness. No voiceovers late at night either, you guys. So anyways, yes, I wanted to put a frame around that one because I wanted to hide the garbage bin that is behind him. And so I strategically placed that frame down below, even though I'm no longer on that picture. But I did take more than I wanted to, just because I felt like if I covered the top of that garbage bin, it wasn't as much of an eyesore as if I was trying to frame around him, right? And then I felt like I was framing around the garbage can too. So anyways, so that was my long story made short, and had to work in the word president somehow, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to take these little 8x8s and trim off the branding strip, and then I'm going to go ahead and yawn one more time for you guys, because like I said, I usually don't talk this much during the day, honestly. I'm here all by myself. I normally am listening to something, but not saying a whole lot. And so when I do these voiceovers, it's a lot. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I thought that I would start off with what I had in my brain, which was put the wood grain right in the middle and then have the photo mats kind of floating on top of the wood grain, but I wasn't sure. I definitely don't want to hide all of this wood grain, that is for sure. But I wasn't really sure outside of having these blocks of wood grain, and then I knew I wanted the stripes up at the top and the bottom. And then I wanted the circular bit to go around. Now, the reason why I want that circular bit is because that's where my faux stitching is. I know I'm totally cheating on this. The Scraptember prompt today is stitching, and then of course the paper snob asked for stitching on her challenge as well. And I have to say that hers could be faux, machine, or hand. And so I thought, oh, for faux, look at that. It's already in this circle right here. I just have to work that circle in somehow. I'm going to make it happen, you guys. So I want to try to work in that circle because I really did not want to stitch on this layout. Yes, I did, but I wasn't in the mood. Like, I really didn't have a clue what I was going to do. All right, so I went off camera real quick, picked out a font that I liked, which actually isn't a real font. It's the Baby set that is in silver, so I'm assuming Baby Boy, because I think the girls was in gold. I don't really remember the name of the thicker set, but I know it was for a baby boy, and I have been using it, definitely not for baby boy. I've just been using it for wherever it fits within my layout, and the numbers were perfect for 2018, and then of course I liked the word that said hello. So it's going to be hello 2018, and then for my circle bit, I'm going to have it come in at the, off from the edge of the layout. Oh my god. And but I ripped it a little bit too big, so I definitely didn't want it to be that big, but I didn't want to fussy cut out to the purple part either. Oh, which was my first intention, was to go ahead and fussy cut it all out and just have the purple part. And I thought, no, because I really do like the longitude and latitude lines. So anyways, there's going to be a lot of ripping, a lot of tearing. I just really wanted it to be a fun and festive layout because this was such a fun day. The drive over there was super fun. Cora and I stopped at the Salt Flats and held the salt in our hand like it was snow. So that was super fun. Those types of photos are really cool to take, by the way, because your whole background is pure white. And you really, your outfit, whatever you're wearing, really stands out well. I wanted to rip the ends, just the two ends of my wood grain paper, so that way they didn't look like, well, blocks of paper, but yet they were rugged ends of wood, basically. I really do love the purple hue that was in this wood grain as well. So I wish I had a million pieces of this particular wood grain. It would have been really lovely to have in 12 by 12, but it was only offered in 8 by 8. I'm also going to take my branding strip of purple and rip it in half so I could use it in 2 spots. Still have no clue what I'm doing with this layout, you guys. Like I said, I had 2 things in mind. I pulled out a bunch of black things, black elements, and then I realized they were light purple on the other side. So I thought, oh my gosh, that's really cool too. So I decided to not do black and go ahead and use the purple. This is where I realized that my circle bit was a little on the too big for me side. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink it up a little bit. Got interrupted for a heartbeat, and then I will end up distressing the edges yet again with it being just a little bit smaller. I do try to work in this this extra little bit because I thought, oh, well, I'll just add circles all over. But then I realized I'm trying to stick way too much stuff on this layout. I really am. I've got I don't even have a design going on this layout, you guys. I really don't. And yeah, I'm grasping at straws basically. But I do still try to use all the paper. Like really, I try to, because that's in my nature. I want to use all my scraps. I want to use all my paper. I want to try to incorporate it all and basically not put anything away, because that's how I roll. I don't like to clean up, so I like to use it up. So yes, I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate it. I put it off to the side. No, let's finish putting the layout together first, and go from there. I'm putting my stripes at a slight diagonal. I didn't want the paper to be perfectly straight across, even though with the stripe being at a diagonal, you really can't tell that my paper is crooked, which is kind of frustrating because I purposely put it crooked and now you can't even tell, because that's not fair, because the stripes are an optical illusion. I love what I've got going on so far. I really do. I'm going to go ahead and tuck in my, I don't know, faux notebook ripping paper. I'm going to put a border off to the side over there. I don't know what to do with the second one. And now I'm going to put my photos back, which I already forgot, as you can tell, how I had them originally laid out. So I'm going to go ahead and put them back. And then I remembered, well, there was a lot more of the wood grain showing, because that's where my title was going to go. So that's not right. And then I don't know, you guys, to be honest. Like I said, I make stuff up as I go along, and this is what happened, but I do end up liking how this looks. I don't remember what my original idea was. I still don't, even though I just watched myself do it on the recording. I still like how this ended up looking, and becoming. Still trying to work in the scrap, you guys. I don't want to throw anything away or put anything away, but that's just me. So I'm trying to work in that scrap. I've got other things. Now I also have to tell you guys, so part of the Paper Snobs challenge is that she wanted us to use our favorite color. And I'm actually using my daughter's favorite color. Well, it was her favorite color back in the day. I don't know what it is now that she's grown and an adult and sophisticated. But I'm not really sure. I just know that back in the day, purple and orange were her favorite colors. And I definitely was not going to add orange to this layout at all. Nope. But I did decide to add a ton of purple, and it's been a long time since I've done a monochromatic layout. In fact, I don't think I do monochromatic layouts at all, but this one was perfect. It just, yes, it was meant to be. I did also have to do a lot of editing to these photos because there was a lot of red eye. And I'm assuming it was due to their glasses and the way that they were pointing to the lights. Because normally none of my photos have red eyes. So it's really strange that this one was big on the red eye. I couldn't even get the photo editing tool to work. And when I brought it in to do something else, that also did not work. So yes, I was having troubles. But after I printed them smaller, then the red eye wasn't as noticeable. So I went with it. I'm also going to forget that I have a naked tag hole. So that's a thing. It just happens. And everything starts happening. So I don't even cover up my tag hole. I leave it as is. And the rule of embellishments, playing with the third thing, yeah, that goes out the door too. I basically put things where I thought that they looked great and I left them. Like the little heart with this thing that says, so fabulous. I just left it up there. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It wasn't needed. It definitely did not need to be up there, but it looks good up there. It felt good up there. I left it up there. The same thing with all the other embellishments that I am putting in place. They look good and they feel good, and so I am leaving them there. I really like how this one of them hugging like sincerely and not being goofballs. I really do like this photo right here. My poor daughter, everybody's taller than she is. Except maybe, if you're 10. But I really enjoy, this embrace that they have going on. And I mean, it's just a friendship that you can't replace. It really is. So it's great. I went off camera and sprayed my chipboard pieces so that way they are black. I love how they look. So I'm going to go ahead and add them on to my layout. I've got one for each side. So I love this one here that looks like it's uncurling. And then this one here is going to go be the foundation for my title. So I did realize that I forgot to glue all the pieces back down. And because my layout is pretty thin or pretty flat and all I have is these chipboard pieces, I'm going to go ahead and use some foam tape behind a couple things as well. So that way I don't feel like the whole layout is completely flat. Here's where I start adding some leaves. I do love how this adds to my layout. Like I said, I forgot that I didn't glue. I didn't glue everything down. My bad. And these leaves were so delicate, but I like the fact that I can just pull them apart and spread them throughout the layout without actually having a ton of leaves to play with. I really do like that. I'm going to try to incorporate the ones with the white borders on top of my white portion of the layout so that way they don't stick out like sore thumbs. And I'm also being super uber lazy to the point where I don't want to fussy cut them out. Like I didn't want to cut around the white border and get it closer to my leaves. So yes, that one was definitely a no-brainer to just go ahead and have it on the white portion of my cardstock. Here's where I'm going to go ahead and put the title. Like I said, at first I was just going to do 2018, and then I figured I really like this hello word. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right on top of the film strip. I'm not even worried because these are foam alphas. They seem to stick really, really well. So I'm not too worried about it. And then, of course, the next thing that is in our challenge is to add buttons. So these are actually paper buttons. I'm totally cheating. So I'm adding a little bit of paper buttons. Now, the mood board came really, really fast. It's at the very beginning, and it is a swatch of 4 colors or 5 colors, none of them to which I'm using. It looks like a green, a blue, a orangish yellow, a red, and then what looks like maybe a purpley blue, but not as purple as my purple. And then, of course, flowers and everything. What I pulled from that is actually the film strips. That's where they came from, is because at the bottom of that is some film strips going across the mood board as well as in a circle of the mood board. So yes, I very little bit of that mood board I brought in, but that was the inspiration. And that's also part of the counterfeit kit's motto, is use as much as you want or as little as you want. From the inspiration that you got. You can use just one thing, you can use everything, all that stuff. So here I forgot the stencil part of it being Stitches and Stencils today. I even forgot my logo. I forgot everything, that it was Stitches and Stencils today. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of stenciling. Now I happen to have this specific stencil on my desk from a previous project that I didn't clean off either. So it's got blues and greens in it, but I'm going with it. It's okay. I'm just adding a little bit more of the circular element on the layout. I really do like the addition of this. It definitely gives movement and a celebratory feel to this layout. And that's about it for me, you guys. So I feel like I've done everything. I've got my faux stitching, my poor excuse for stenciling. I have my daughter's favorite color, not mine. I did use buttons. I did end up using 2 real buttons as well. I pulled from the mood board, and then of course I used leaves on this specific layout. So I really do like how it all came together, even though it looked like it had absolutely no direction whatsoever. I really am happy with how this turned out, and I'm excited to actually get to my daughter's graduation photos. Not that they're any better, because it was so chaotic and just basically, take your photo, Mom, I gotta go type of thing. So I didn't even get any with her group of friends at all. So anyways, that is the layout for you guys. Here are a bunch of close-ups. Head on over to the Paper Snob YouTube, please, because she is a great scrapbooker, a great person altogether. I loved hanging out with her on the cruise. I love hanging out with her on Facebook as well. She's just really, really great. Don't forget to check out Sandy's channel, who is State Goddess here on YouTube. She plays along with us for Stitches and Stencils, as well as Galaxy Girl Creations, Janet Fritz. She is also our partner in crime for Stitches and Stencils. And then, of course, Scraptember. Don't forget to check out that playlist for Scraptember. Oh, and the playlist for the Paper Snobs recipe challenge, and everybody that's helping her celebrate her 1,000 subscribers, you guys. Go check all that out. It's a ton of stuff. All right, I'm done. Thank you so much. I'll check y'all later. Bye.